The purpose of this call, I wanted to share information about you, which I'm sure you know, but it's just nice to get a different perspective and maybe a validation about something that you knew deep inside you.
Totally.
And just showing different perspectives that I feel can help both your listeners and viewers and mine as well. And I believe it will really bring more encouragement and hope and like, let's do this.
I'm all about
order,
it. I love it.
There is order in this seeming chaos. It's actually quite amazing
Definitely.
what is happening and what we're witnessing. So it'll be in that light.
It sounds super exciting. I'd love to hear. I've been wanting to hear the take of a true like astrologer on what's happening in the world, what energies are in the collective causing this in the cosmos. So I'm super excited.
Really, really good. Have you ever had astrology reading done? Has anyone ever looked at your chart?
Yeah, I've had a number of people look at my chart, friends who are, astrology fanatics, but never like an actual reading from an astrologer. No.
Okay, brilliant. It will be kind of a mini reading. I just wanted to point out a few things that I kind of cherry picked that will be relevant for the listeners. So yeah, I hope you'll enjoy it. So first of all, how did I arrive to this point? I have been doing QHHT, quantum healing hypnosis, Dolores Cannon technique for the last 6 years.
Love Dolores.
Yes. And since the beginning, since day one, I always ask my clients for their birth details for my own curiosity so I can look at their charts after their sessions. And I realized kind of halfway through that part of me was looking for proof that our higher self is guiding us correctly. And then later on, as more and more clients started having extraterrestrial connections and different stories from planets that seemed not Earth, I was also looking for some proof that this was not just a fantasy or imagination, but actually a real deal. So eventually I did find patterns and clues showing us that we are connected to stars, and that there is so much more in our life map, which your unique astrological chart is. So this universe truly is mathematical and geometrical. So everything is arranged that way, including souls who incarnate in the physical universe, like we are here. So it became very clear and very exciting for me to start collecting data pretty much that will give me some kind of order that will make sense. And a few years later, now I have an online course where I teach people how to look for certain things in their chart that'll show them the story of their soul before they came to Earth. And it's really all cool. There. It's really all there. So, for someone who just starts looking at astrology, you look at a few different things, then you get it. You're like, oh, now I understand it. And you have like a nice idea about your current life experience, your challenges, your gifts, and so on. And then it's like when you're ready for the next spoonful of information, it's like another door opens and you go deeper and there is a lot more information. Then you explore that realm. For example, you can look at your ancestral story through the astrological chart. And once you get that, another spoonful of, wow, there is actually a galactic heritage and galactic connections, galactic karma that is in my chart that I am living in my own life. So I realized recently that I think I live for mind-blowing moments, and I have many, and it's really, really exciting.
I can relate.
It's incredible. Yeah, I'm sure you do. So one main message that I want to share with the audience is that what I've witnessed over and over and over again is that even if we have no clue about astrology, the map is inside us, and our higher self is guiding us very precisely for our fulfillment of the destiny that is written in stars. If you just listen to that guidance to your heart, it will lead you to your highest potential. And whenever you feel like you're stumbling upon blocks, it's because you are not really following the calling or the inner guidance. So the higher self needs somehow to show you that actually, no, you've been here already. You've done that. You really need to get out of that and expand elsewhere. So it's important that we listen to that intuitive guidance. And you, Aaron, are such an amazing example of following your heart, because when I looked at your chart, Like it's like check, check, check. You're really following divine guidance to a T, and it's so beautiful to witness that at such an early age, to be so in alignment with your divine human potential, as I like to call it. So,
wow, that's beautiful.
yes. When I created the online course, I had this prayer for software developer to be guided to me divinely to help me develop a website. And only 2 weeks after I published my course, someone took the course as a student who was a software developer, and he, from his own inner desire, actually developed the website without even telling me, and then just presented it to me. So we now have this platform that allows people for free to put in their birth details and look at the fixed stars of the most well-known places that we would associate with the Starseeds terminology, like, Syrians, Arcturians, Pleiadians, and so on.
This is really cool. Nice.
And
what a cool software.
And then scroll further down. Yeah, so this is a gift from Hector, the student of my course. There's such a generous heart, and we've worked many hours making it look prettier.
Yeah.
And just accessible for everyone, because what I've been witnessing with hundreds of people is the transformation this can bring them, and most of all, helping them release limiting beliefs about who they thought they were, and really help them embrace their kind of galactic heritage and acknowledge themselves as starseeds, or beings that are able to transmute darkness, density, karma, limitations, and become the light and love beacons that they came here to be.
Yeah.
So
that's amazing.
So that's what your galactic star alignments would look like. I'm going to go back to Zoom to see you and I just wanted you to see how easy it is for people to access this.
Yeah, very easy.
And it can seem overwhelming at first. For some charts, there's a lot of data, and some people don't have as many star connections. With you, from experience of me seeing so many charts and understanding what means what is relevant and what isn't, I believe wholeheartedly that your soul is through and through Syrian soul. Like, I believe you came here from Sirius.
Wow.
And have you received that information before from anyone else?
I never have, but I've never sought it out or spoken to an expert who would be able to channel that information either.
Yeah. And before I go further, I want to really highlight this information, that there are many different levels or perspectives how we can look at who we really are. When we look at it from a human perspective, like this is the view we have. When we look at us from our galactic perspective, we are Syrians, Pleiadians, or a hybrid of multiple races, because we've been busy. But when we look even higher, we return to just love and wisdom, and really that is what unites us, and that's the ultimate. I want to really highlight for anyone hearing this information for the first time, or people who are really into this starseed world and terminology, it's just a stage to help them release limitations of human experience, but there is more. We want to go beyond that and just drop the labels eventually. So that's really important. So yes, it's obvious to me from your chart, and as well kind of tuning in with your soul essence, that you are a very ancient soul, that you had, I believe, close to 600 plus individual incarnations. Wow. Many different perspectives, and that's why it is fairly easy at this point for you to be able to perceive from multiple perspectives, really having that quantum experience. And you came to Earth many thousands of years ago with the group of Syrian beings to assist with supporting evolution of human species after their DNA was tinkered with. So you came to counteract that decision of shadow side of different extraterrestrial beings who were at that point service to self oriented. So when you came here, you already had great wisdom from your nation. I believe when you got here, you would have been 6th density being and on the way to 7 density. So you had that beautiful balance of love and wisdom, and your desire was to assist evolving civilization. So I believe you had several incarnations, I would say about 50, 60 lives on Earth from my perspective, based on what I receive. And majority of them, like your signature desire for incarnation, is to have access to knowledge, wisdom, religion, understanding of the societal hierarchy, and bringing positive influence in terms of uplifting the evolution of human consciousness. So over the many lifetimes, I believe you have mastered that experience. And I believe you already managed to really integrate the polarity of certain archetypal experiences. In particular, in many lifetimes, it was really important for you to understand everyone's perspective, whether as a teacher or a religious priest. You know, you had these roles before. And in this life, your soul is guiding you to not lose yourself in everyone's perspective, but really allow your higher self to express your truth, which is unifying every perspective. And you're doing that so wonderfully. That really is that highest calling for you.
Yeah, you're so just nailing the bullseye on all of these. It feels like I definitely have a very strong passion, which I don't really know where it comes from, but I have such a strong passion to show the oneness and singularity of all religious belief systems. And anyone who follows my content knows that I love teaching from Hinduism and Buddhism and Christian mysticism and other influences as well, and lots of different texts. The other thing I'm very passionate about, you mentioned, is really wanting to bring or help to create the beginnings of a truly enlightened civilization on Earth, creating conscious community to show the world this is the world we can have if we're ready to leave these sort of slavery systems we've built in the past and create a society truly based on freedom, unity, and love and oneness. And so you just absolutely nailed it on the head with both of those. Yeah.
It's right there, not only in your south-north node, which is literally the path the soul is taking over many lifetimes, which is in 3rd and 9th house, which is the polarity between the student and a teacher. Really, that's the archetype you've been living over many, many incarnations. But also your 12th house, which is the house of karmic completion, is in Gemini, which means just that, what we just said. So it's wonderful that you embody that now. Another thing that you're kind of balancing from several incarnations is that in many past lives, I believe you were so devoted to service to humanity that you neglected your own needs, wishes, and desires, and most of all, playfulness and creativity and fun. So this life, you were not allowed to do that. I believe if you were trying to, it did not feel right. It really caused maybe almost anxiety or depression. You are meant to, in this life, to give yourself permission to have fun and interact on a really relaxed and free way. And magic happens in those interactions and that frequency connections. And you're doing it. I believe you copped on with that one as well.
That must be why I chose the projector archetype to incarnate as, because yeah, you're very much right. One of my biggest catalysts with work is I can feel stressed out very easily with not even that much compared to what like a manifesting generator, let's say, could handle. If I get too many things on my plate at once, I start to feel this stress of like, this isn't what I want to do. I don't want to feel all this burden. I want to create from my passion and just create content. That's my joy. But I got to do all this admin stuff, all this marketing stuff, and it just stresses me out. Yeah. So I've had to work a lot on that.
Yeah, that's definitely that path. And also working more with creator and trusting that there are other forces working with you, for you, and through you as well, not just you controlling everything as you did in several previous incarnations, either as a doctor or leader of a village or a town, or like there was so much that you needed to control and you needed to handle. But this time you're working with the divine. So you trust that everything, the way it's happening, it's actually happening for a divine reason. So there's a lot more peace there with you that you're cultivating. So that's beautiful.
Spot on.
Just with regards to your Syrian galactic karma or heritage. There are many Syrian souls here who are kind of high level, as I like to call them, master souls who started their goals, their projects with assisting humanity's evolution thousands of years ago, and their projects are really long-term, like spanning over millennia. So this is something that I believe is within you as well, where you just have this natural ability to plan long-term or have like a really long-term vision and kind of know that you're going towards something greater. And it could actually feel on some unconscious level, perhaps, that this is much bigger. Like you've started what you're doing now thousands of years ago, and you're now coming full circle, completing something major. Have you ever had that feeling that you really have to finish something or complete something, a kind of self-imposed pressure that was coming from the unconscious? Have you had that before?
Huge, yeah, big time.
So it's time to drop that and realize that actually you've arrived now, and the transformation is happening, and the seeds are sprouting, and it's all good. And there are many of your soul group family that are assisting with this. So that's one thing. One of the Syrian lessons that I believe you also learned is that they had such a strong passion for helping humanity, who was on a different level back then. Like they wanted to help so badly that sometimes they were forceful with their intentions, or really wanted to change now and not waiting. So I feel you have transmuted that in your current incarnation already, where you allow people be exactly as they are. All you can do is embody creator, and things will happen at the right time for everyone. So that's a huge karma clearing on a soul level.
Yeah, I love that. Wow.
Another thing with the Syrian souls is about secrecy. Thousands of years ago, and in many of your incarnations too, you would have created these secret circles where sacred knowledge was shared and nurtured, because your belief was that it's safer that way. Because when people are not ready for something,
right,
it can have a catastrophic effect. So that secrecy tendency may have been there with you in the past, but I'm watching you actually coming out so beautifully, even if it's uncomfortable, even if you feel sometimes that, are they ready? Are they not ready? Like, what will happen if I do this? That's another thing that you have transmuted and helped for the Syrian collective to clear that element, that kind of polarity. And it is truly safe for you to stand in your truth and share it, because the world is ready. Everything is coming full circle. So keep going.
Thank you. Wow. That really resonates as well.
One more thing is the profound communication of this just divine wisdom that comes through you. It's another signature of Syrian inheritance or heritage that you carry within your soul. I believe, from the information I know, is that our Syrian forefathers are the ones that taught humanity a lot of the spiritual practices and tools, full area, and especially starting in India, these blue gods. They are actually connected to Lyra, Vega, Syrian beings, star beings.
Wow.
So you lived in those lives as well. You were there. You lived in India, you studied Buddhism, like you dedicated your whole lifetime to studying and living, embodying one particular religion after another. So in this life, when you revisited these teachings, it was just like a reminder, helping you integrate all those aspects of your previous incarnations, because this is the grand finale.
That profoundly resonates, because I've had such a burning love for Hindu culture and philosophy for so many years, and I don't know where it came from, but I just instantly connected and fell in love with the Hindu religion, especially, and Buddhism to a large degree. But I've just thought, man, I must have had some past lives in India, because this just resonates so strongly for me.
Yes, I'm so glad. That's such a beautiful validation. So it's not only through your past lives in human form, but also through your soul galactic family. Your soul family, I believe, is Sirius A planets, 8.6 light years away from us.
Oh, wow. Very interesting.
So I would say that's your true home, although home for you at this point is everywhere you are. So currently, I believe the Syrian population has shifted to fifth density as a collective. There were individuals before that shifted higher, but as a collective, they shift to fifth density, meaning they shifted to the non-physical, more like a light body experience. And we are now a step behind them, shifting from third to fourth density. So we really receive so much guidance from these star beings that are devoted to assist us. They too were helped by someone else. So it's just like paying it forward. And it's really beautiful how you convey the information in such straight to the point way. I love when someone is just straight to the point, and especially at this time when we just want to get everything fast.
Get to the good stuff.
Yes, exactly. One of the things that I was looking at in my clients' charts at the very beginning, before I knew about all this, just the basic thing that I was looking at was the life path number. Even that alone is spot on, talking about, what will be your destiny or what you will be actually experiencing in your life. And the reason why I'm bringing it up is because yours is quite rare. Your life path number is very special. It's 33.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, and it's a life path number of a spiritual teacher, but like a high caliber, without massaging your ego. And I know I can say this perfectly all right, because I know you have a very humble heart, but it really is a path of someone who has humanity's best interest at heart. Someone who is not motivated by ambition and wealth and riches, quite the opposite, really just have humanity's best at its heart. And this information is actually sprinkled all over your chart. So if there are any people who might doubt your intentions, like your chart is clear from any manipulation or feeding your ego, like it's not your cup of coffee at all.
That's great news.
Yeah, it's a beautiful life path, because isn't that really the best?
Absolutely. Yeah. Even my birthday is March 30th, so 333.
And next year you're turning 33, right?
Yeah,
I think your birthday will be pretty epic.
I have a feeling.
I have a strong
energy.
I actually have no doubt about that. Because I believe last year, since your last birthday, you started a new cycle of higher level consciousness, much higher frequency, where a lot more of your soul essence came through. You're embodying it really, like you dropped the last old bags the year before. You had a lot of closures. And since last birthday, you're walking that much higher frequency, embodying your soul essence. And it's like just going through several initiations through experience this year, going through them with flying colors. And then next year, I feel it could be an enlightening experience that might last.
Yeah, well, that very much resonates as well.
Yeah.
This last year I've described has felt like just the most massive year of integration, really just embodying more of my higher self, letting go of the old self. And it's been so much rapid transformation this year. It feels like 10 years of growth in 1 year.
And it's just integrating like multiple lifetimes just through single experiences. You think you're just dealing with this one situation, but actually those souls are connected to greater collectives, and there is a past, and like there's so much actually happening behind the scenes that we have no idea, but you can feel the energetical magnitude of it, right?
Yeah, no, that's funny you say that, because I've had a ton of, whether it's like a spontaneous vision or a dream, but just little glimpses here and there throughout this whole last year of like being in prison somewhere, or being burned at the stake, or traveling through the universe, or being a teacher or a devotee under a guru. And, I don't really know, I can't know if they're real past life memories or not. So I don't make a big deal about it, but they just come in all the time.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident in saying that, yes, they are. And that's the way you integrate. I've seen it in some of the QHHT sessions when a soul was meant to go through such rapid integration. They would just have like little incisions, look at certain lifetimes, and that was enough for them to actually integrate it. So that's what you've been doing, and it's preparing you then for embodying the divine fully.
Fascinating.
It's so exciting. I believe master souls like you are here in thousands, And that's the most exciting thing about it, that we have never had so much royalty or really high caliber souls as in such volume on Earth before. There's so many. I have met so many really, really special souls that are so devoted, so eager to complete what they've started many lifetimes before. And I see this a lot, that our galactic soul mission on Earth is usually like multi-lifetime mission. It's not just one. You sign up and it's like thousands of years long mission. You coming from a place that is already beyond time, space. So it's just, you know, you don't mind.
Most irrelevant. Yeah.
All worth it. Yeah.
Well, that's great news, because we certainly need that right now in our collective.
I see it a lot. So some of the stories that I come across is, you know, everyone has a different mission. And this is maybe an invitation for people who they know they're guided, but there's always that element of doubt. Am I really, or who am I? And it's not to kind of blast people's egos by seeing how connected they are to galactic beings. It's not about that. It's actually to be taken with great humility and responsibility. For people who are struggling with self-doubt, something like this, just looking at their astrological chart, can really help them receive validation that they're looking for, and trust that, okay, it's right here, black and white. I'm actually going to follow that guidance, and breaks are off and magic happens. So
yeah, it does. It really does give you permission in such a unique way when somebody with expertise like yourself can read your chart. And we all each have individual things that we're either desiring, or we feel a curiosity or a pull towards, but we're just not sure if it's just me or if it's the universe. And then when someone comes along and confirms, like, yes, all these things you're feeling in such a specific way are accurate and in alignment with your soul's path, like, wow, it's just such an enormous release and permission to just step into that future self, higher self, and begin to embody it.
It's transformational for sure. Yeah. So I also want to highlight for many people who feel like they're not doing enough, especially when they witness someone really blossoming to their fullest potential. We all are eventually master souls. We all have that potential. Right. So I don't want to make someone more special than the others, because we really have this highest potential, every single one of us. But some people's purpose is not to be at the limelight, at the forefront, and being, you know, worldwide known. Their purpose is to, for some of them, literally just be happy, literally just be fully happy and share joy wherever you are, because you can see in their charts how busy they were in many, many incarnations, so much that their soul is just tired of doing that. Now they're meant to balance all that hard work and actually reap benefits of their karma, good karma, and just really enjoy and be blessed in that. And that's how they serve. And others that I see a lot are meant to literally be mothers for the Starseed children that come with higher frequency. So
very important role.
Many of them would think, oh, am I enough? I'm just mother. But no, actually, if you saw the mission of your children that's gonna unravel further down the line, you would be so deeply honored and grateful for holding space, safe space for them to blossom. So each of our role is unique. So give yourself permission to embody your unique way of making a positive difference. It doesn't have to be the limelight. You know?
Yeah, that's a beautiful message, Julia. Really good.
As a healing practitioner, my point of attraction is people who are ready to transform, who are on this wavelength. And so many keep saying, I feel so alone in this. I cannot really talk to my immediate environment. You know, where is everybody? Like, is it really happening worldwide? And I'm here telling you that, yes, we are here in millions. We are sprinkled everywhere. And just maybe in your immediate environment, you are that beacon of light and higher consciousness, higher frequency. If you feel lonely, you just need to come out and share yourself so that you can wave, so that you can be visible for others to connect with you, because they will. Or just go into meditation and think about kind of raising above the clouds and just saying hello to all the other light beings that are here with you. And you will immediately feel just massive expansion and connection, sense of connection, knowing that we are here together making a positive difference. So
yes, I feel that as well.
So these were my main messages that I really wanted to share with you and your audience. I hope it will lift everyone up. Something really exciting is happening.
Yeah, no, could not agree more. And thank you so much for sharing that. That was very, very insightful. A lot of stuff I'd never heard about before from my soul's past, and also very helpful because, again, like I said, it's nice to be given such great permission to step into something that your heart is feeling called to. So often our mind has us doubting if that's really what we're hearing or feeling or not. So, I mean, I just hope everybody can have the chance to get a reading with somebody like yourself and really see where their soul has come from, which can help you understand deeply and powerfully, right, what you're here to do now, what your soul's mission is here in this incarnation.
Yes, absolutely. I was looking at your horoscope now, like what's happening right now planetarily, and it seems like this month, next month, maybe till the end of the year, you're meant to focus a little more on your house, maybe even redecorating or just really focusing on the family foundation, in case you will feel those inclinations, but there'll be another part of you that wants to be really involved with everything. Make sure you also tick those boxes because it's meant to be. And you will that way really recharge. You will connect to what is meant to be there for you, that home, roots, family connections. And the few months right after, you will have such a spurge of new creativity, and you'll really get out there. So just do take it easy as well.
Yeah, also resonates a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, it's time. Anything else? So I'm fully booked forever, I think.
For the rest of time.
I can't really take any more people at this time, but this is why I feel I was prepared and created the online courses, whether it's connected to higher self or life purpose astrology or galactic astrology, so that people can access this information right away. I believe, just as I was divinely guided to this information, since I published the course and many hundreds of people took it, people are saying that they too found that information from within by studying charts. Like many astrologers started using fixed stars and galactic astrology. So it's just nice to see validation that obviously we are collectively ready to understand how connected we are to greater universe. So
yeah, I know 100%. And I'm going to put all the links to your courses and to the website where people can put in their chart information so that anyone interested or feeling called to this can just get right after it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm curious about your course, Aaron. Do you work one-on-one? Do you even have still time to do that? Or do you do group work? Can you tell me a little bit about that? Because I didn't have a chance to look at that. I would love to know.
Yeah, so I do right now 3 different courses. I have my masterclass, which is kind of an evergreen 8-week masterclass on really understanding the mind, how to begin mastering the mind and gaining greater awareness of who you are and how to integrate real mindfulness. And so that is an 8-week course, which once you join that, it's a lifetime membership. So many people just take the course every 6 months or something to stay fresh. And, you get so much more each time you pass through. Yeah. But we do a Q&A every Saturday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, where people bring all their questions from whatever content they're working on or however the content integrates to their life. And so I do get a little one-on-one time with everybody there. Nice. And then my other course is my ACIM course. It's called Living the Course, that I do with a friend and partner of mine, Mark Anthony Lord. We do the daily lessons live every morning, and then we do master classes every Thursday, and we read the text on Mondays. And so we get a decent amount of one-on-one time with people there. And then my third program is the Law of One Book Club that I'm starting on Monday, the 18th of October. And that will also be a similar format, about an hour of teaching on different subjects from the Law of One, and then about an hour of Q&A with the members.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. I love that. I even just from watching some of your YouTube videos, I was able to have like transformational shifts and coupons, things that I thought I already knew and understood, but the way you put it, it was like something else, think deeper, and it improved my relationship with my husband, with my daughter, like so many things I realized about the feminine masculine polarities within our marriage. It was just amazing. I keep sending your video links to so many people. So I really appreciate you.
Oh, I love to hear that. That's fantastic.
I think that sums it up. These were all the messages I had for you. So thank you so much for embodying divine so beautifully, making it easier for us all to follow in those steps. It's beautiful. Yeah,
well, and thank you as well. I appreciate you, your authenticity and your energy so much, and just your expertise at this. It's really amazing to watch somebody who's so well-versed in a modality like astrology or tarot or whatever it is. It's such a pleasure to watch people work and read. It's like a different language, you know, so it's almost like listening to someone speak another language. So I really find that impressive. And I love how you integrate the law of one into your explanations, and just that picture of the universe integrates so well with star families and galactic history and stuff. So I love that you bring that element in.
And it's something actually, thanks to you also, the way you explained it. I'm not sure how long ago I've watched it, but I started asking and checking on that. What's the level of density of this soul coming through? And as you mentioned, I believe in Law of Ra, they said that most of the wanderers or starseeds are 6 density. And right. I see it validated in so many client sessions that really, they really come here from higher advanced civilization to help with uplifting this one. Yeah, as well, actually, one of the questions that many people ask, are we all starseeds? Are we all connected to stars? Are there any pure Earth humans? And I mean, my answer could be biased because my point of attraction is starseeds. So I believe, based on my experience, that we all are connected in one way or another, whether through soul, genetic lineage, or through our human DNA, because we have been modified so long ago that it's all widespread now. And I believe even scientists have already confirmed that. I think in 2013, after 13 years long study of human genome, they found out that 75% of coding within our DNA is actually tinkered, like it's a message, it's a coded message from extraterrestrial life. That
I've heard that as well.
Near impossible for that to be natural evolution of DNA. So I believe we are all connected one way or another, and it's just like an echo of unfinished business from myriad of planets with human life. And now we are just kind of coming to that grand finale where we are finishing up, tying up loose ends, and realizing the great potential and the gift of being who we are, you know?
Yeah. I very much agree with that. And I even think I've heard Jar say that, I don't know if it was the Anunnaki was the first race that tampered with human DNA to help accelerate our evolution. But they put a kind of code in our genome that once we're evolved enough to understand genome and DNA like we should, we'll see like, oh, there's a little message from whoever came in and tweaked our DNA, which is interesting.
Yeah, so it's exciting to live at this time and see it all unravel. Exciting times.
Yeah, it is.
We're in it together.
And speaking of that, I had one last question for you. What can you say about the planetary alignments right now, and like what is happening in the stars and the planets that's causing this massive sort of collective shadow work we're doing right now as we shift to 4th density? And then what does it say about our future as the planets move around in their orbits? What does it look like to you energetically?
So it's the cycle of universal night and day, and we are now at the dawn. As you know, it's been said in so many different ways from so many different perspectives, but really as well astronomically, that's what it is. In the most simple terms, we are moving from the night, we are at the dawn, into day, which means light is now going to be reigning. Light and love will be reigning our physical experience. And in terms of our own solar system, and in terms of Earth and the planetary alignments, what we are heading into for the next many years is expanded consciousness. Literally, planets are aligned in a way that makes us more quantumly calibrated and makes us receive information from stars, from beings from higher intelligence. So even without trying to ascend, people are ascending. And I've heard these stories so many times. I'll just share one. of a client of mine talking about her grandmother, who was a very grumpy, stern woman her whole life, very unpleasant to be around. And one morning she was just awake, half asleep, and she saw this beautiful golden light energy in her room, or somehow she was perceiving this kind of divine essence that is all around us. And it transformed her, and she became loving and kind woman that believed in something bigger than herself. Just one example. And so many people would come and say, just last year, I had no idea about any of this stuff, but now I perceive differently. Like our brains are changing, and it's the influence of planetary bodies, the way they are arranged. It's been a prophecy that this time will come, and it's actually happening. And it's influenced literally by planets and stars and the divine arrangements of everything. So it's very exciting. Yeah. It's going to happen. It cannot not happen.
Right. Yeah, I feel that. Mm-hmm. I feel like when you say that it goes from night to day, the through the precession of the equinox or however it works, I feel like probably most, if not all, of our third density history was kind of the night period. The separation consciousness, war, tribalism, genocide, all the horrible atrocities. But they say, it's always darkest before the dawn. And I feel like we're kind of at that moment now where it feels the most dark, but that's because the light's about to break over the horizon. And we're seeing this massive awakening happening. And I think that as time goes forward, we're going to see more and more, even like spontaneous spiritual awakenings like a Byron Katie or an Eckhart Tolle. That's going to become more and more commonplace. I think, like you said, just because of the very sheer planetary alignment, it's bringing out the fourth density energy of the planet, which is the awakening to love. And so more people who maybe they seem like they're the farthest from the truth, like Byron was before she awoke, right? Just grumpy, angry, hates life, hates everyone. And then boom, just total self-realization. I think that's going to be happening more and more on our planet.
Yes. There is, I believe, divine grace in how long it's taking, because the high vibe energies, they're really high vibe energies, and our bodies are just not able to handle them. Like if you've ever had that's been like this profound experience, there's just like floods of tears and heart beating fast. You need to breathe really deep. Like our bodies literally cannot handle it. So there is a grace in how long it's taking for us to be as comfortable as we can be. So we just, it's all good happening at the right time.
Yeah, I love that.
Next spring equinox, like this, literally the next 6 months, I feel it's going to be just major stuff popping up everywhere, more awakenings. And then it almost feels like something new, like a whole new chapter is opening after spring 2022. Something just epic.
Yeah, I feel that as well. I think there's just way too many catalysts happening. Almost like every single day, there's another huge world event or something that just demands humanity to wake up and see the corruption that has controlled our planet for so long and say, oh no, we're not going to live in that world anymore. We're going to create a world of love and unity. And man, are people waking up to that so fast right now?
Yeah. What I'm seeing as well is that many people who were quite aware of, different spiritual teachings and the inner work, kind of the Gnostic way of living, yet they're still maybe staying at home, whatever.
Right.
I believe they are going to come at the forefront now when we will witness real 3D people, their belief systems breaking down. So these ones that were just kind of hanging there in a limbo, they are going to be assisting people who will go through breakdowns. Just a small example of when my daughter found out about the world lie about Santa and how everyone is involved with it. And so when I held space for that, I was literally witnessing how her brain is suddenly connecting millions of different memories. And it was just impressive to see how everything is suddenly unraveling, but her body actually started shaking. Like she went into a little trauma state because so many beliefs were just like popping, breaking down. And that was just a little child that was held by love and lightness. So she transmuted in moments. But I thought, what about people who have these really rigid beliefs about the system that they trust?
Yes.
That goes, you really get ready for holding space, compassion and safety for them to just process that and live that out and whatever.
That's a great analogy. I've seen that a lot in the collective of, they're just, some people are just so resistant towards accepting some of that reality that the world is run by people that don't have great intentions for us. And you can feel like the subconscious can feel that trauma coming of accepting that. And so they're really pushing it off. Like, no, it's not, we can trust them. They're good. They're on our side. And they want to just still cling to that old reality, that old paradigm, which is based on victim consciousness and sourcing your power outside of yourself to other sources, and whether it's a government or leaders or whoever. And the new world, the enlightened civilization, demands us to take all of our power back, remove all of our victim consciousness, and step into total self-responsibility and self-empowerment. And that's how we build the new world. So slowly but surely, more and more of those people are going to, as more of us accept it, it becomes safer and safer for everyone else to do so.
Wonderful point at the end. Absolutely. Yeah. Takes courage. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Wow, this has been such a treat, Julie. I appreciate your time so much. And thank you so much for everything you shared. Really meant a lot.
Likewise. Much love.
Take care.